Done. Okay, everyone, if you're watching at the moment, can you please comment in the comments section below? That way I know that obviously we're live, you can see us and you can hear us. Again, if you can see us and hear us, please comment in the comment section below. We're live, you can see us and you can hear us. And we're getting some feedback. Please comment in the comment section below. Just bear with me. And we get some feedback. Okay, hopefully that's better. Right, can everyone hear me and see me, and obviously not hear any feedback now? That would be a bonus. There we go. So everyone says good there. Has the feedback gone, everyone? Hi, Ben. How you doing? There we go. Again, if you can see us and hear us, please comment, and that way we know we are live. Okay, yeah. Okay, bear with us. It's not showing on one of our channels. Just bear with me while I refresh it. Go. There we go. Right, okay, looks like people can see us now. Thank you. Hi, Robert. Hi, Marianne. Hi, Kunal. Hi, Richard. Thanks for commenting. Right, and Kira as well, and the Clad. Right, okay, so let's get started with the show then. Okay, so welcome to the Tech for Tech Tech Talk. This is a vendor special, make money and resell cloud backup. This is a live show. We are streaming live to the Tech for Tech Facebook group and page, YouTube and Twitch. And you will now be able to listen to the show on Apple, Amazon, Google, TuneIn and Spotify podcasts after a few days, obviously. I'm your host, Philip Griffiths. Today I have two directors from Cloud Dolphin here with me. First of all, we have Kiran Francis, who is the sales director. How are you doing today, Kiran?
Hi, Phil. I'm good, thank you.
The sales director. Hi today. Just Kieran. Bear with me, guys. Again, we have some feedback. I think it's at my end, so just bear with me. Okay, so let's start that one again. So, how are you doing today, Kieran?
I'm good, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, that's better. Okay, for some reason I was getting some feedback from. Okay, so right, next up we have Andrew Fleet as well. He is the commercial director. How are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm good, Phil. Thanks for having us.
That's no problem. So today we're going to be talking about cloud backup with Cloud Dolphin, obviously, and they will tell you why you should be reselling it. But before I start, I would like to say that I highly recommend you look into selling services like this because it gives you a monthly or yearly reoccurring income. And when you get quiet times, let's just say you have to close your store because there's some weird virus going around, then you've got a monthly income coming in no matter what. So it pays a lot of the bills. And just to give you a rough idea, we sell online backup as well as other monthly services like repairs and maintenance contracts and stuff like that. And that covers all our bills just for that. So any other jobs we get coming in basically is a bonus to us. So that's why you should be reselling products either like this or from elsewhere. First of all, before we go on, if you have got any questions, we will be doing a Q&A after Kiran and Andrew have their presentation and talk. So if you have got any, please comment in the comment section. If you, again, have any questions, please comment in the comment section and I'll get as many questions answered for you at the end of the show. Okay, so over to you two guys then. So what have you got to show us or tell us today?
Great stuff. Well, thanks for having us on today anyway. I think we wanted to really start with an introduction as to who we are and what created the idea behind Cloud Dolphin. And can you hear me?
Yeah, we've got you, buddy. Yeah.
Good stuff. Yeah, so I think we're coming up to the 3-year point now, aren't we, Andrew?
Yeah, we are. It's we still refer to ourselves as a new star business because we're within that 3-year age bracket, but we're pretty well established now, which is great. You know, it's been a long journey. I'm sure we'll touch on that during part of the chat with you guys. But yeah, it's been a long journey. But you know, we've been very fortunate along the way. It's been pretty tough as well at times. But yeah, we're coming to the 3-year marker, and today we really want to share a little bit about the business, the owners, Kiran and I, our philosophy behind the brand, behind the products, behind the services, and really just for you to get to know us a little bit better, and you know, because ultimately businesses are the people behind, you know, ultimately are the people behind the brand, and the product and the service. Probably 75% of a company's presence in the marketplace regarding its services and its customer service is about the people that work in that business. So we're going to hopefully try and give you a little bit of an insight, and we're not going to bear all, but we'll give you a bit of an insight into us and the business.
Yeah, so shall we start with how, I guess, the idea came about? I think back in 2018, I'd recently left the army, and I'd been in communications and IT, and I thought that I'd never touch any computers or any IT systems ever again after leaving the army. But things changed, and I wanted to get back involved in IT. So I reached out to a local IT company that was doing MSP, IT reseller type things in Burton-on-Trent, where I was living at the time. And I offered my services for free in exchange for bringing me back up to speed on current technology, I suppose, updates and you know, what's involved, I suppose, in providing an IT MSP service in a local area. And I ended up working in a shop, quite a small MSP shop that looked after residential customers in Burton. And I worked there for about 3 months, I think. Was it about 3 months, Andrew?
Yeah, I think, yeah, about 3 or 4 months. Yeah, I think so. It's been a while ago, so forgive me if I got that wrong, but yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so I seen there was a gap in the market for cloud backup solutions. We were looking at them at the time, trying to implement them to the business that I was working in, and I just seen that there was a lot of different offerings, but nothing really there to help the MSP. It was kind of really expensive or really technical, and the solutions were quite difficult from trial, I suppose, to get your head around. And I think that's still the case with a lot of different solutions out there. They're quite technical, and you have to provide training for anybody else to manage them. But with what we offer, it's quite a simple solution. We generally tend to hand it over following a demo, and the MSP will get to grips with it quite quickly, get trialing, get onboarding customers, and it's a low touch point product as well. So once it's set up, you guys can, you know, make a recurring monthly revenue with quite low touch point to the customer in regards to backup, unless they need a restore.
Yeah, the only thing that I'd add to that is that when we did start, when Kiran did start looking at his research in the marketplace, it was just flooded with a lot of very complicated and varied fee structures, lots of different options, and sort of. But ultimately, we kind of concluded that it was an industry that kind of sold itself into the MSP or their client pretty cheap front end. But then quietly in the background just began to, you know, rack up loads of bills in terms of increased services that the clients would then take out further down the line. So The things that we saw were sort of cheap on the face of it, but when we started talking to a few clients about it, those costs quickly could escalate. And also they found it, and we'll touch on this a little bit later on, they found it very difficult to kind of quantify a profit margin because of that, because they had different MSPs, different fee structures, different charge rates out to the clients. And it was basically a very, very confused marketplace we found with a fresh pair of eyes looking at it.
Yeah. So I suppose we chose to try and simplify that. I mean, when we started out, it was our pricing model was really complicated as well, because what we did was we looked at how the market was selling the products and we tried to kind of match it. But what we found was the MSPs that partnered with us to resell the solutions, they generally found it difficult to quote their customers as well. There would be these different add-on modules. If you want to back up one server or one PC, it would be different prices. And then you'd also have to pay storage on top of that. So what we did was, I think it was maybe a year and a half ago, we just cut out all of the add-on modules, and it was just a standard price. So you kind of pay for storage only, you get the software included in that, and it's easy to budget and easy to invoice your customers at the end of the month, because you kind of just bill them for what they're using.
Yeah, so we kind of once Kiran had the initial concept idea for the business and for the philosophy of the service, he basically reached out to me at that point. And a little bit of background about us. We've been good friends for 13 years. Every time that we've kind of had a major life event, we seem to have kind of reached out to each other, which has been great. Yeah. And Kiran reached out to me on email because I was involved in another business at the time, and reached out to me on email and said, can we meet up for a Costa? And I just want to run a few things by you. So, yeah, I mean, our friendship goes back a long time, and it's and that's why we both felt comfortable going into business, because for you guys out there that have got partnerships or sort of 2 or 3 people in the business, it's really important that you choose your business partner as well. A bit like choosing your wife well or your husband well, I guess, because you're spending a lot of time with that person. So, so I mean, Kieran's background was in the army, but maybe go into detail a bit, Kier, about sort of what you did in the army, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Not the top secret stuff that you can't, the other stuff.
All right. Well, so I was in the Royal Signals, so it's IT and communications. So generally I worked with radio systems, but yeah, we touched on IT, servers and infrastructure, VoIP as well. But yeah, I kind of got sick of it when I left. I didn't really want to go into IT, but I don't know. It drew me back. So here I am, I guess. So yeah, it was a tough learning curve, because I think because of my history, it's more radios. So having to relearn, server infrastructure, clusters, Hyper-V, and all that sort of stuff. So we could set the business up, but we're there. We've got a good infrastructure now. We're growing, petabytes worth of storage space, and we're touching on 3 years old now. So it's been a good run. It's had its difficulties, because I think when we set the business up initially, we went on maybe an older technology, a server, and then a replication server, which is probably 90s stuff. But soon realizing that wasn't efficient for us as a growing business, so we switched the infrastructure to a cluster environment. So we've got mirrored SANs, clustered servers. So we've got instant failover now, which obviously prevents downtime for our partners. So it's going well.
Cool.
Do you want
So a little bit about me, but not too long. But so my background's quite varied. I've been involved in several businesses in my career. A little bit older than Kiran, by about years or something like that. And worked for the banks initially in my early career. 4 years with Lloyd's, 4 years with GE in commercial banking. Then got sick of the red tape, which is obviously inherent in those kind of organisations, and both the banks when I moved on became sort of very inverted in terms of their vision, because they were just hemorrhaging money because of the times, basically the residual value crashing cars, etc. I won't go into too much detail, but yes, I thought, well, there's got to be some other stuff out there. So I started up on my own as a vehicle leasing and finance consultant and advisor. Did that for a year, joined a bigger business, and then moved on from that business to another insurance-based company, and that went really well. I was there for 4 years, and then moved on to quite a different tack then, really. So was one of the directors of the second largest taxi company in the UK, second to Addison Lee. We had about 2,500 drivers up and down the country, and that's where I started getting interested in technology more so than I did before, because obviously Uber was kind of hitting the scene at the time, and we created our own Uber style kind of booking app. And we were just buying businesses that were quite antiquated, really, in terms of their practices and their owners. Their owners were taxi drivers that had been really hard workers and done well, been in the right place at the right time, but also worked hard for it, and they'd done very well. So we were looking to buy up those businesses as a going concern, maybe with 200-300 drivers in there, and then just really sort of put our infrastructure and our IT framework right over that business. And probably increase the profitability by 30-40% in the process. But yeah, then Brexit was mentioned, I think, to one of the banks, and our funding to purchase other businesses in the 12 months ahead kind of disappeared. So my exit point slipped back by about 2 years, and I was working myself to death, driving all over the country, and thought, well, no, I'm going to go off and do other stuff then. So then I started working with my wife, which is interesting. It's got its challenges, but she is the wind beneath my wings, just in case she's upstairs somewhere. I'm listening. And so I was doing that, and then I had a call from Kiran, basically, and that's where we met up and talked about Cloud Dolphin. But I think that industry that I was in with the taxis has got a lot of synergy with the industry that we've seen, at least with our meetings that we've sat, because there are sort of small business owners, a lot of MSPs out there that are 2, 3, 4, 5 people, that are really trying to maybe change their business mix from personal to business, a bit more corporate, but also, while they're on site putting a printer in or some new hardware, their phones ring in with new clients, and they can't take the call, and so they're just kind of struggling to do everything to grow. We thought about those guys when we formed Cloud Dolphin and the products that we designed, because ultimately we needed to create something simple to sell, and also simple to use. And if the MSP was busy, or they even had end user clients that were happy to do a bit themselves, then the software was there to kind of to be able to be rolled out to those end users, because it's very much a step-by-step process to create a backup set.
Yeah. It's easy to set up, easy to manage. The reporting features in the software are really good. I mean, we're not going to go into too much detail, I suppose, in terms of demonstrating the product today. And the reason for that is that Phil actually did a review video a few days ago, which was quite in depth. And I suppose if there's anybody that's interested in seeing more, they can get in touch with us, and we'll take them through like a 15-minute demo, which is probably more informative and a bit more personal. It might be quite boring for you to watch that now, so we'll stay away from demonstrating the product while you're enjoying your evening tonight.
Well, I didn't think Phil was bored at all, actually. Phil, I thought you were fantastic.
Well, I try and be, but it can be a little bit hard now and again. But your product's pretty good, so it wasn't that bad overall, to be honest with you.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. That's very kind of you to say so. Thank you.
Yeah, so I suppose everybody's probably wondering more so into what the solution can do. So what I'll do is I'll just share a screen to our website. And so, I mean, some of you may or may not have seen the website, but it details everything that we can do on there. I'll touch on applications that we can back up. We offer pretty much every backup type that you can currently buy. So we do anything from your Office 365s. A lot of people do system image backups and file backups, granular file backups. We can back up virtual machines. So that's all the VMwares up to version 7 now, I think we're on. Hyper-V up to 2019. We do Exchange, both server and database, and mailbox as well. The SQLs, we support bare metal restores from the system images that are backed up. And we also offer white label and rebrandable solutions as well. So if you want your logo on there, you want your customers to see your brand, we can offer that service too. And we also offer direct NAS drive backups as well. So we support QNAP and Synology NAS drives. So you can actually put a client directly onto those NAS drives and back up and restore from them as well. So it's quite a good tool. Then I suppose the Open Direct as well. So we do offer the Open Direct granular restore from virtual machines. So that means you can mount a virtual hard drive, VHD, and extract single files from there as well. Operating systems supported are all of your major operating systems, so Windows, Mac, Linux, a couple there that people probably don't use anymore, and then Ubuntu, Synology, and QNAP. So we do pretty much cover everything there as well. We do offer cloud to cloud as well. So we do offer a OneDrive, Google Drive, anything like that. You can back up without any software installs, and you can manage that from your portal as well. So any backups can be initiated from the portal, and you don't actually have to log into the client every time you want to administer any changes to the backup sets. So it's really easy to use, really easy to set up, and it's hands-off once it is set up as well. The reporting feature, you can set up backup reports to go to yourself, to your customer. Administrators will get a report every day as well for the previous 24 hours worth of backups. So you don't actually have to log into the system to check on any backups as well. And that's, I suppose that's a general overview of the software. Anything to add to that, Andrew?
No, I think that's pretty much. Obviously, if anyone wants it, if anyone that's watching wants any further more detailed info on it, then I'd be happy to take that offline. Not a problem. Either PM us through the Tech for Techs group, or drop us an email direct, whichever you prefer. I think the important thing is that we've got great capability, but excuse me. I think more important than that is Phil's header for the session, which is how to earn money from cloud backup. And basically, we've sat many meetings where we've actually been in front of people, and the MSPs that we're sat in front of, when we ask them kind of what they do at the moment, they've got typically a mix of backup solutions. They may have 2 or 3 different solutions. And they don't really know hand on heart in detail exactly what they've got as a total amount of terabytes in terms of storage, which always amazes me. But I guess it's understandable, because these guys have kind of arrived at this moment of confusion after probably a year or two's worth of trying different things, all at different prices, charging out rates and stuff all vary as well. The backup solutions. It's no surprise really that there's no accident that it's exactly what the backup partner wants effectively, because they want to get you kind of on a nice cheap deal up front, and then so you forget about it, and then the backup grows, or it gets varied, or they take the eye off it, and then all of a sudden it becomes difficult to keep on top of. And we get a lot of people who really hate the fact that every month they get this variable amount of invoice come in, and they look at it and they think, well, I can't break that down because of I really haven't got a handle on it. But it becomes such a difficult thing to swallow. Then it's a toughie really. So
yeah.
So the important.
That leads on to how our invoicing works as well. So we just break it down in terms of terabytes, and you can go into the system and just see exactly how much storage space you're using, compare that to your invoice, and within 10 seconds you'll have an answer as to whether you're making money on that, I suppose. So again, really simple billing system, no add-on modules, no extra device. If you want to start backing up 10 servers tomorrow, the only additional charge that you'll have is the amount of data that you start backing up from those devices, which can be calculated quite easily before you start backing up by just checking the properties of the folders or whatever it is you're pointing it to.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Again, from a technical point of view, that's really important stuff. But that kind of picture of confusion that I've just painted is no accident. It's exactly what the backup partner wants, effectively, because variable charging is difficult to keep track of. As a result, this important area of revenue and income, like Phil touched on at the top of the intro, is seen as a kind of a leave it alone part of the business because of that, and it's just too much trouble to unravel and organise and change and really focus on as a profit center. But the important thing is really one of the important things we need to get across today is that having cloud backup discussions right now is probably more important than ever, with the increased amount of home working that you guys are having to manage for your clients. And our solution is easy to use, it's fixed priced, it makes it easier for you to quote the client and then understand kind of quoting a margin for yourself, so you know exactly what you're making in terms of profitability, and maximise your fixed income. Like Kiran said, this is monthly subscribed income that kind of, whether you touch it or not, and it's typically low maintenance. It just rolls into each month with minimum ongoing work. So it's kind of a no-brainer.
Definitely, it's kind of you're paying the bills before you've even done any work. So it's definitely a good product to have in your itinerary, and definitely if it's highly profitable, which I'd like to think that our pricing is quite keen, and Tech for Tech's members get a great discount from us as well. So if you are a Tech for Tech's member and you get in touch, I think you'd be quite pleased with the pricing that we offer for you.
Yeah. So in terms of are you okay with all the pricing and stuff, Key, and everything? Do you want to move on to like achievements and stuff, and kind of how we've found the last 3 years of it?
Yeah, I think I suppose generally the past 12 months have probably been quite challenging, but what we've done is we've used the time wisely to I suppose build bigger and better infrastructure. So so why it's not been as active, I suppose, and I mean, we have been growing throughout the lockdown, but we've managed to get some time to sort of rejig our infrastructure. So like I said earlier, we've got cluster environments now, mirrored SANs, dual data centers. We're fully UK based as well, so I've probably not mentioned that yet, and GDPR compliant. So data's encrypted prior to transfer, and then it's stored in an encrypted format that you guys would have the key for, or the customer would have the key for, with nobody else having access to that unless they shared that key. You can back up from one device, restore to another device, pretty standard, in the backup world, but it's geographically not restricted at all. So yeah, I mean, bandwidth wise as well, so we can work on low bandwidth too. I know some people probably got customers out in the sticks. We can set bandwidth rules, so we're not hogging their internet while they're trying to work in the day. We can set your different schedules and things like that. So it's pretty flexible, and yeah, we offer a UK based service that's completely secure. Yeah,
and also over the last year we've been busy just trying to to create a lot more brand awareness. We've done pretty successfully well, thankfully, over the first 2 years of trading. But obviously, this last year has been challenging for us all. It's been very different for everybody. But I think hopefully most of you guys have looked at it the same way as we have and thought, well, what we can't control, we can't control. So what can we do? So we have invested again in infrastructure, like Kiran touched on. We've also, is it this year we became G Cloud key?
Yeah, so we've done the G Cloud 12 framework, and we've also done digital outcomes and specialists, that framework as well. So government approved supplier now. Yeah, so I suppose it's been a productive 12 months for sure. And I'm sure everybody else has probably, while you've been trying to play catch up with getting people working from home, trying to use that time, I guess, to progress the business. And a lot of people that are joining us as well as resellers are looking to just save some money. And if you can save some money and still offer a great premium product, it's win-win, really. Win-win, especially for small businesses.
Yeah, I'd agree with that 100%. I think looking at our notes, because we've got some notes just off the screen, as you can imagine, just to keep us on track. I think pretty much I've covered everything off, Key, by the looks of it. I think you have too. Obviously, we're more than happy to take any questions from you via Phil. Obviously, if you want to catch up with us offline at any time, in the next few days or whatever, then please feel free to do that. I'd just like to thank Phil again for the opportunity to sit the live session. It's something that we've not done on Tech for Text before, and we were flattered when Phil asked us. And also, again, like to thank Phil for his review of the products and services, and awarding us highly recommended. So thank you, Phil, for that, much appreciated. And as Phil also mentioned, we have got some great discounts for Tech for Tech members, which are exclusive. It's not like we've just chucked a number at it. We throw at any new clients. We do value the Tech for Text group, and also and appreciate Phil welcoming us in the early days when we were I suppose quite a young business then, and an unknown for him. So again, yeah, appreciate Phil supporting everything that we've done over the last sort of year and a half or so. And also, obviously, thanks to you guys for taking the time out this evening and watching us, and hopefully learning a bit about us as people, where we're coming from, the kind of people that we are, the philosophy that we've got, and that is really quite simply to work hard, work with you guys, and if there is a problem, then we want you to know that we're by your side until it's solved. The one thing that we are proud of is our customer service, because we're UK based, and we can react. We're not a great big business. I've been trying to work with Amazon the last few days regarding an Amazon shop link, and it's just been an absolute bloody nightmare to try and get any form of customer service. So that's something that I'm personally very proud of, and I know Kiran is too. And it's something that you guys can rely on, because ultimately we're an extension of your business. We can, Kiran touched upon, just while I think about it, white labeling. We can white label. A lot of MSPs that we've spoken to like to keep the cloud backup services separate to their branding, just in case they fear something goes wrong. Obviously, we've got infrastructure and resilience to make sure that never happens, with the infrastructure in different sites and backups of backups, etc. But yeah, we can kind of work. We can kind of work and adapt to whatever you guys need, really.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, guys. Right, not to worry you or anything, but you have got a lot of questions coming.
Are they all from our existing partners trying to put us under the microscope?
Well, you never know. Right. First one I'll sort of cover for you guys, and I'll pass it on to you anyway, but there's the multiple questions regarding the same thing, and that's regarding pricing. The guys, obviously, at Cloud Dolphin will post in the Tech for Tech group and contact you regarding pricing or the people who have been interested, because they want this video to be relevant. Obviously, prices may go up and down, and people may view this in 2 years' time and don't want to get misled with the pricing. So they'll contact or post in the Tech for Tech group on this post regarding pricing and so forth. But I'll pass the questions on now anyway, because you'll probably be able to answer some of them for you. Right, so from Richard Overfield and Kunal, we have got, is there an upfront charge or is it like a monthly cost? Can we discuss pricing? I'd like an idea what we pay per terabyte as a white label product, and how should we resell it? What is a discounted price for Tech for Tech? I think we covered just most about that, what I've just said, but do you guys have anything you want to add on to that?
So onboarding, no initial charge, no. So you can start tomorrow. You won't get charged until you start using the software as well. So until you've transferred some data over to us, and you'll get billed on a per terabyte basis after that. Was there a white label question in there?
Yeah, it's basically what's the price per terabyte as a white label, which you'll probably want to answer in the comments.
Yeah, so we'll DM anybody that wants to know the pricing. But white label, we tend to throw it in free, depending on, I suppose, how many terabytes you bring over to us. And yeah, I think it's, sorry, so I think I forgot the last bit there. Go on.
So sorry, it was basically what do you pay per terabyte, and is there an onboarding, and what's the discount?
Yeah, so it's a 30-day rolling contract as well, so there's no long-term tie-ins or anything like that. You just pay per terabyte, and it is relatively cost-effective. And yeah, after this, I'll DM a few of you guys who've asked that question, because I'm sure we'll be able to have a dig through the comments.
I think the only thing I'd like to add to that, Phil, is that we're conscious that obviously when clients transition their data across to us, during that month when that happens, and we tend to limit it to a 4-week period because it kind of focuses the project. 2 weeks if we can, depending on the amount of storage we're dealing with. We don't charge for that first month. So once the client signed up and the data transition project's been approved and it starts, then we don't charge for that month, because ultimately that would mean that the client will be charged twice for data storage, once by their old suppliers or supplier, and once by us. So the first month is effectively free to get the data onto our servers, and then the billing starts effectively 28 days afterwards.
That sounds pretty good. Something I'll add into the question there. Obviously, there's a lot of people who are probably new to cloud backup and don't understand a lot of the terms and stuff you've used, and all they want to do is back up some residential customers' photos and documents and stuff like that. What I would ask is, you say the pricing is per terabyte, but is that per terabyte per user, or is that per terabyte combined? So, for example, if you've got 10 users which use 100 gig each, which is a terabyte, do you just get billed for the 1 terabyte of usage, or do they have to get billed terabyte per person?
That's right. So 1 terabyte can be distributed amongst all of your users. You don't have to tell us as well if you want to go into the next terabyte. It's uncapped, so you can set restrictions for your users. You'll get alerts at 80%, 90%, but there's no restriction from us. So you guys can go 1 terabyte today. You can be 10 terabytes next week, and then you can scale back down. There's no penalties. And again, just give us 30 days notice to get the data off of our servers, and you can leave anytime. It's really flexible, and I suppose just aimed at making it easy for you.
Okay. Another question regarding billing from David. Do you hold the contract and billing for the end user and pay us commission, or do we purchase wholesale from you and contact our customers directly?
Yeah, so we do both already. So we can set up a direct debit directly to your customer at the pricing that you've sold it into them for. We are wholesale, so we do only sell to MSPs and resellers. So let us know what you've sold it into the customer for. We can set up billing and pay you a commission if that's what you wanted to do it that way.
That's pretty good. Let's have a look. And does that vary depending on if we resell Cloud Dolphin products as opposed to white label?
It's the same price. So if you've got a white label version, it's the same price as a standard branded version. It's up to you.
Right, okay. Something I'd like, guys, if you are thinking of reselling products to look into, if you haven't used it already, is looking at a company called Go Cardless to basically do your direct debits. If you've got multiple things like cloud backup, security, remote management, and all these different things, it's a brilliant company to look into to basically get money from your customer every month or year. It's all automatic. You just basically put the details in. They basically say, I agree, and away you go. There's your money coming in, and you get paid like, I think it's 2 or 3 days after each payment. It might even be the next working day, and the fees are pretty low. That's if you obviously don't want to go direct through these guys. Right, next question. If we choose white label products, do we buy storage in chunks that we resell, and can Cloud Dolphin handle the payments? I think that's sort of covered in the last couple of questions, but I'll let you just rephrase it again. Yeah,
so it's there's no difference. So you can, whether you're white label or not, it's a per terabyte. Unless you need a special arrangement, then we can tweak the invoicing, I suppose, to do a half terabyte increment. But generally, we work on a full terabyte. And from when you've seen the pricing, you'll understand it's not really a major task to take on the extra half anyway. It just eases our billing anyway. So if you take 2.5 terabytes and get invoiced for 3, you're probably not really going to notice it. So, and you'll have that extra space as well as headroom for your customers in terms of retention policies and things like that.
The only thing I'd add to that, Phil, is again, when we sat down initially and had a look at kind of what other people were doing, we kind of felt it was a bit unfair. So we try and structure the pricing so as it's fair. So in terms of sort of people having to buy chunks of storage from us, we don't do that, because we know that if they buy a chunk, they're probably going to use very little of it in the first 3 or 6 months. So from day one, we basically work on a per terabyte basis, and as you grow into the next terabyte, that's when your billing changes. And then typically, like Kiran said, they get sort of alerts at 80%, 90%, or whatever they set for each of their clients. But also, we sit down on a regular basis and just check, see what the data sets are looking like, and if we're coming to close to the end of the month, and we're doing our end of month calculations for invoicing, if we can see that a client's jumped up by 2 or 3 terabytes, for example, we'll give them a heads up, maybe a few days before the invoice goes out to say, is there anything on there that you want to delete before we get the billing done? So we're super fair in that respect. Whereas a lot of our competitors do great stuff, of course they do, but I really haven't found anyone that goes to that kind of length to make sure that the invoicing is right and fair.
Yeah, and I think if you go over as well by 50 or 100 gig, we're not going to just stick a terabyte on there. We'll give you a call and we'll have a chat about it first. If it's something that you wanted to reduce, or if you want to take an extra terabyte, then it's an optional. It's optional for you.
Right, that sounds pretty good. I'm going to go slightly off topic with the next question. This is from Steve Barker. This is directed at you, Kiran. He wants to know how you make your teeth so white.
I think it's the lighting. It's the lighting. I have bleached them on occasion.
He's got a filter on, Steve.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, I told you we might get a few strange questions, but I think that's the worst one up to now. I've probably put my foot in it now. There's probably a few more going to come through.
Sound disappointed. Come on, everyone. Come on. You can do better than that.
No, it's good actually. Right. I think a lot of people have seen me commenting on different posts, but a a lot of people probably don't know what I actually do because
he's a part-time dentist.
Yeah. Well, we're not that vocal about it in the group. I haven't joined as the business. I just joined them as myself, and I suppose in the group I try to interact just as me, not as the business. So you guys know now that I'm from Cloud Dolphin, and this is what we do. So if you've got any questions, and even if it's on a solution that you're using and you just want a temporary alternative, we can help you out. So yeah.
Okay, next question, guys, and it's not related to teeth, is I cannot see any mention of Apple support on the Cloud Dolphin website. Is there a Mac OS version of their software? I think that one's a yes, but I'll let you answer that anyway.
Yeah, so as I showed earlier on the download page, there's a Mac version of the software as well.
Right, that's brilliant. It might be something you might want to update on your website if it's not that, if people are looking for it as well. So, right. So next question. Oh, this is a long one. I'll try and skim it down a little. I've previously been a reseller of cloud backup and had a white label solution like yours, but the provider went out of business, and because the backup was branded as mine, it caused me lots of problems with customers and so forth. What's the background of Cloud Dolphin? I think you've mentioned that already. And I can see you're a fairly new business, and I'm looking for some reinsurances, basically. So he's basically been burned before, shall we say, and he basically wants to make sure it's not going to happen again.
Well, a couple of things on that one. Well, thanks for the question. And the first one is, I think, like I mentioned at the top of the session, we still see ourselves as a pretty new business, but we're approaching our 3-year marker. I think it's in next March. I think it is actually, which is I don't know where that time's gone, but it's a good milestone for us. In terms of stability, we've been growing year on year. In terms of our infrastructure, our client base, our products and our services, and we've been evolving to our clients' needs as well, which we're super proud of. In terms of the white labeling, like I mentioned earlier, we can either do it white labeled so that you can put your own branding on it, or we can just leave it as Cloud Dolphin branded if you prefer. If you've been burnt before by that kind of scenario, which obviously you have, then I'd strongly recommend that if you go with us, just to leave our solution Cloud Dolphin branded, and then at least you get that brand separation, just in case anything does go pear-shaped. But obviously, we can reassure you that wouldn't be the case anyway.
Yeah. So we've one thing as well. We don't use any third parties. So there's no Azure, there's no AWS. It's all of the kit, all the storage, the servers, everything. It belongs to us. And yeah, we've made massive investment into the business, and we're going strong.
That sounds pretty good. By the way, the previous few questions were from Richard, just to let you know. Next question is from Paul. Is it just the two of you, or do you have others who work for you?
Yeah, there's more of us. I suppose John's probably watching. Jonathan, who's our super tech. He manages the infrastructure. You'll probably never meet him unless something really bad happens. But yeah, he's the guy that looks after our infrastructure mainly. But yeah, we've got a couple of sales guys as well. But yeah, relatively small team, but you can probably imagine that it doesn't require a massive team to support petabytes worth of storage space, because that fits on generally quite not much kit nowadays.
Yeah, I mean the investment's been in. Obviously, we've got an investment in the team in terms of manpower, but this year we've really focused our investment in the business from obviously its profitability into the hardware that we've got. And like Kiran said, it's all on our own, or all in our own hardware, all in our own tin. We can obviously, people do have a preference for Azure and AWS and other solutions. We can accommodate that. We can blend what we do with that. But yeah, it's kind of that's where we focused our our investment this year, rather than building a massive team of people. The five of us can do what the business needs to do quite comfortably at the moment.
Right, I think that pretty much answers that question. Next is from Mick. Do you have the backup servers on site, or is it leased? As in, do you obviously buy the storage from elsewhere and resell it yourselves?
No. So it's all our own. So yeah, there's no on-site hardware. You guys have your server at the customer site, and that backs up to our servers in the data centers. They're all ISO certified as well, ISO 27001 and 9001. So yeah, fully GDPR compliant. We do have onboarding packs as well. So if you need anything to present to your customers in terms of GDPR compliance, we provide that during the onboarding period anyway.
Okay, that sounds pretty good. Let's have a look. Okay, so again, similar sort of question for Richard Overfield. You mentioned a petabyte of storage. Are these your own servers, or are you using another company's storage? Where are your servers based?
Yep, so they are our own. Our main backup site is in Wolverhampton, which is where I live. Jonathan actually lives about 2 streets away from that data center. And then our DR site is in Nottingham. So we were using one in Cardiff as well, but we recently migrated that one to the Wolverhampton site.
Yeah, and the Wolverhampton site has also got sort of 2 separate buildings on the same site, so that we've got sort of equipment split between the 2 buildings for further infrastructure stability, really, and just the safeguarding.
Yeah, cool.
That sounds pretty good. Right, next is from Kunal. It says, are there servers based in the UK? I think you just answered that one, with 24-hour telephone support in the UK.
Yeah. So if you call us 24/7, 365, you'll always get somebody here in the UK. We do also, one thing I haven't mentioned, we support seed loads. So if you've got low bandwidth sites, we support seed loads during the onboarding period as well. So just saves you trying to send that a terabyte over a 1 meg line, I suppose.
Okay.
Yeah, and if you do call at 3 in the morning, just give us 5 minutes to wake up.
There we go. Right, next is from David. Are there any Fallover locations in separate data centers for added resilience?
Yes. So the failover site is in Nottingham. Yeah, we've got
Right.
the main backup site is Wolverhampton, and then that will fail over to the Nottingham data center. They're separate brands as well, so if one goes out of business, we've still got a completely separate branded data center in Wolverhampton.
Okay, that sounds pretty good. And right, this is from Rob Williams. Is there an instant access options where you can map a drive of a recent backup for immediate data access without waiting for a restore job to complete?
Okay. Yeah, so I'm guessing you're probably referring to something similar to a Datto solution or something like that. If you're backing up virtual machines, yes, that is possible. So there is a run direct feature that you can use, and you can run directly from the cloud or from a local backup destination. In terms of system images, you can't boot one of those up unless you wanted to put it into a VM yourself, but you would have to restore that first.
Okay, that sounds pretty good. Next is from Kunal. Do you have access to DNS settings? Are there product specialists to advise based on different customer situation?
Yeah. So if during any onboarding, we can handhold that process with you. We do free assisted setups and things like that. So yeah, on a client by client basis, we can support each one.
Okay, that's pretty good. Next is from Ed Squares. Is there any plans to support Netgear Readiness backup solution?
Currently, yeah, so Synology and QNAP are the ones that we support mainly, but you can do indirect backups from those NAS drives. So you can set up point it just to a file share or something like that, and we can indirectly back it up from a PC or a server. So as long as it's visible on the network, we can back it up.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, Ed, that's probably quite a technical one, so happy to pick that up with you after the session, not a problem.
Okay, that sounds pretty good. Richard John D. Douglas has asked, well, the shortest question up to now is API question mark.
Yes. If you're comfortable using it, there is an API. Yeah, if you're comfortable using APIs, then yeah, there is one available.
Right, okay. I'm glad you managed to answer that one. Let's have a look. This is from Ed Squares. Are you able to do a seeded data upload, in brackets, send you a drive with the data for you to directly upload?
Yes, we can do that for sure. We tend to do a few a month anyway. It's not, it's quite a simple process. You run the backup locally, send us the drive, we'll upload that, put it into the folder belonging to your customer's backup set, and then as soon as we give you the nod, it's a two-click process to get that synchronized then. So yeah, we can support seed loads.
Okay, that sounds pretty good. Just a heads up, guys, if you do have any questions, please put them in the comment sections and we'll get to them as soon as possible. Got a few more to go through first, though. Again, if you've got any questions, put them in the comment section below. Right, next up, we've got Richard John Lee Douglas again, and his backup retention limit, question mark.
Yep, so we do a default of 30 days just initially, but that can be changed to whatever you like. So a simple retention policy can go up to 365 days. And then you can do a more advanced retention policy if that's what you wanted, and you can do your grandfather, father, son, so your yearlies, monthlies, dailies, weeklies, anything you need, depending on your customer's requirements.
Okay, sounds pretty good. Next question is from David Lucas. He says, how does this differ from Live Drive? And I'll sort of answer that to begin with, because I've used Live Drive, and let's just say Live Drive is like a Ford Fiesta, where this to me seems a bit like a Ford Mustang. So you've got a hell of a lot more options in there, but I'll let you guys describe it a little bit more. I'm not sure if you've used the Live Drive service or not.
I think we'll leave it there, Phil. I think you've
yeah, you
sold it for you.
Yeah, so basically, I think the Live Drive is more of a PC world, like more of a budget product. We're a premium backup solution that can do every backup type. It's a one solution fits all, rather than
yeah, sounds pretty good. And you say PC World. The PC World are the ones that do actually resell and rebrand Live Drive as well. So just for people out there. So don't get me wrong, nothing wrong with Live Drive, but this does have a lot more options to it. Obviously, backing up NASes, there's a lot more options to it, and different things like virtual machines and so forth. Right, let's have a look. Peter Whitehouse says, I may have missed it, but do you support backups to disk, network share, then replication to cloud?
Yes. So you can back up to any local network storage and back up to the cloud as well. So you can run them in sequential or concurrent. So you can run them together at the same time or one after another. And also, we don't charge for local backups. So as long as you send something to us, we're not going to bill you for running a local too. So you don't get charged twice for data.
There we go. Let's have a look. Next question we've got from Richard John Lee Douglas again. Can you send me a DM price, so a direct message for 44 terabytes to compare with one of his current servers? So obviously that's something for you to do, obviously, after the show.
Yeah, we'll pick that up after.
That's not a problem. Next is from Ian Harden. Are you offering the free trial and demonstration still? As I was ill when I was trying to sort this out with Kiran, and that was from Ian Harden.
Yeah, sure. I think your account might still be active. So yeah, we can pick that up. Free trial, still run a free trial, and I'll tell you what, I'll give you a call tomorrow.
Yeah, and hope you're better. Hope you're feeling better, Ian.
There we go. Right, I think he is feeling better actually, because I spoke to him on, I think it was on last week's show or the week before, and he's doing a lot better now. So, right, let's have a look. He says, Kiran has asked, where has our tragically red-faced review video gone from your website?
Who's this?
This is Kiran. Yeah.
Is it DCSL, Kiran?
Yeah, DCSL. Was it on our website? I can't remember.
I don't know. You guys figure that one out.
It's in the archives.
We'll post it in the comment section later so everybody can see.
I'll send you a copy.
There we go. Right. Next one. This is a good one from Richard Overfield. Do you have any point of sales material we can download and give to our customers to explain the product? So to help, basically, documentation to help him sell it to his customers, what he can probably rebrand.
Yeah. So we do have some white label. I suppose some white label documents that you can send out to your customers or potential customers. But we do custom make documents for you as well. So if there's a special requirement that you want on a specific product that we sell, we can create something for you and you can send that out to your customers. We can even brand it as your own as well, being as we're making it for you.
Okay, yeah, that sounds pretty good.
And that can be in the form of just a PDF flyer if you want to use that. But also, we can give you some content if you're doing a sort of a MailChimp or a Sending Blue campaign or something. So yeah, we can help with that.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty good. Right, guys, last chance for sending questions in because that's all the ones I've got. If I've missed your question, please post it again and I'll ask. What I will say is, from working with these guys at Cloud Dolphin, is they seem to have a yes attitude rather than a no attitude. So for basically everything they've asked up to now has basically been yes. So I'm very happy with the way we've dealt with them, especially for the review and so forth. If you look at a lot of the stuff possibly in the review or what they've shown you tonight and you're confused by what it all means and you're not sure because all you want to do is back up Mr. and Mrs. Rogers' computer with their family photos and family tree and everything else on, just speak to Kiran, sorry, not Karen, Kiran. Speak to Kiran. He's in the Tech for Tech Facebook group, or comment here. He'll get in touch with you. It is actually a lot simpler than it looks in some cases. It does have a lot of details there, but you can set it up very simply. It's basically just going through, basically choosing what you want to back up, giving that person username and software, username and password, and then basically them installing it on a machine or device. We put the details in and away it goes. Basically, it's not too difficult to do, but again, watch our review for a real demonstration of it. Right, let's have a look if we've got any last comments. One from Call Me, or Cormac, should we call him, over in Ireland, and he says Kiran is outstanding to deal with. So not really a question, it's more of a statement. And yeah, I think these guys are basically a pleasure to do business with, and I'm pretty sure they'll work with you no matter what questions you've got. I've not had any issues and not heard any issues, let's put it that way. Do you guys have anything you would like to add before we end the show?
Well, obviously, I just want to thank Cormac for his previous comment. Cormac, I wish I shared the same thoughts, but I don't. Yeah, so I'm going to go and brush my teeth in a second and leave Karen to do whatever he's doing afterwards. No, I mean, from our point of view, it's been a really good session. Personally, I've enjoyed it. I know Kieran has. I hope everyone watching has as well. Just a final thank you again to you, Phil. Thanks to all your questions, all you guys who are watching, and we'd be more than happy to have a chat with you separately about your specific requirements, and I'm sure we can work around whatever challenges you've got and whatever your clients need us to do in partnership with you. So yes, I've really enjoyed it. Thanks, Phil, and yeah, it's been great.
That's no problem then. So I'm going to wrap the show up now. So first of all, I would like to thank Karen, or should I say Kiran, and Andrew for joining today. If you are an independent trader, store owner, MSP, tech vendor, or distributor, you can find out more information about Tech for Techs at techfortechs.co.uk/join. Join over 1,000 members, or should I say now 1,100 members, just like you, that can give you free business and tech advice. And did I say it's totally free to join with no membership fees or costs to you? When you are applying to join, can you please make sure you fill in the questions? For example, website address, who you are. Otherwise, we will not let you in the Tech for Techs members group. Again, make sure you fill the information in. Otherwise, we won't let you in, no matter who you are. So again, thanks for watching, and thanks for supporting local independent businesses.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.